Hi, I'm Hazel reporting live from Khazanah's Megatrend Forum, and with me over here is Barry Pousman. How are you feeling?
Feeling great.
Good. You just finished your talk?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very emotional actually. It was a beautiful room. It's lovely to be sort of accepted and brought here, and it's great. It's a great experience.
Fantastic, for good reason, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So Barry, just a quick one. Could you just tell us, as co-founder and CEO of Variable Labs, what is it that you really do?
So we create immersive experiences to help people get better.
Yeah.
And we help people get better at life and at work.
Yeah, it's incredible. Could you just share with our audience your journey that got you to this stage right now? Yeah.
Sure. Well, I'm most interested in helping people, and it turns out that we've found the best way to help people today is with virtual reality.
Yeah.
And maybe tomorrow it might not be virtual reality, it might be something else.
Yeah.
But today it's the most efficient way to make the most amount of impact. One film, billions of dollars can change hands.
Yeah.
Perceptions can change, minds can change, and then eventually behaviors change.
Yeah.
And if we can change behaviors in the world at scale, I mean, we've done it.
Yeah.
Right? We build our own Garden of Eden.
That's really incredible, because a lot of people are trying to do that, but it seems like a tough feat. How did you get to realizing that augmented reality or virtual reality would be the right thing for what it is that you want to do?
When I experienced virtual reality for the first time, I immediately, within 20 seconds, you realize that this device allows you to take on the perspective of another.
Yeah.
And that is so powerful. That's something we've been trying to do with books, with plays, with movies and television forever. We've been trying to help the audience feel like they're part of the story.
Yeah.
Right? You're sitting in that auditorium with those people that you're watching a film about. And it turns out that when you watch VR, when you do VR and experience VR, you don't just get the audio, you don't just get the visuals and the audio, you also get the experiential side.
Yeah.
You remember that
Yeah.
you did it.
Yeah.
You feel like, wow, I've been to Malaysia actually. I remember watching that film. But instead of saying I remember that film, you would say, I feel like I was in Malaysia. Yeah, I remember being there. And so
Yeah.
that is a shift in storytelling. It's a shift in media.
Yeah.
We now have a new way to tell stories, and
Yeah.
we kind of, it's still so new that we don't know what the rules are.
Yeah.
So we're still exploring, like, can we have jump cuts? Can
Yeah.
we have drone shots?
Yeah.
Can we, are there rules about interviewing someone, right? What does it look like if the crew is in the shot, or if we want to light a shot?
Yeah.
Add lights to a scene.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Yeah.
And it's all new. It's something we hadn't had to tackle with
Yeah.
cinema,
Yeah.
or at least we have to tackle it in a new way now.
Yeah. It's just incredible. Could you share with our friends back home, what is something that you've used VR for that has truly changed behavior? And what was the behavior like before, and what was the behavior like after? And how did you measure that?
Sure. So we made a film with the UN that allowed dignitaries, world leaders, to step inside the shoes of a 12-year-old girl in a refugee camp, Syrian refugee camp in Jordan. And they showed that film to a donor conference, 24-hour donor conference, and Ban Ki-moon was there, and he watched the film, and he loved the film, and he made everyone else watch it. And they were expecting $2.3 billion at that donor conference. And they ended up at the end of this conference, 24 hours, just one day, and they watched this 8-minute film, and it helps you put a face and a name to the problem of Syrian refugees. All of a sudden, this girl named Sidra, and she needs our help. And she's out there, and she's struggling, and she's lost,
Yeah.
right? And we need to help her get back home.
Yeah.
And so it really re-engages the heartstrings. It re-engages sort of nostalgia for when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
When you were a kid, and you get to walk in that childlike shoes. And there's a real sense of donor fatigue in the world. Every year, donors give less and less money, right? You get fatigued. It's just a natural way life goes. And so we've found that VR was able to re-engage and sort of, reactivate those audiences.
Yeah.
And so instead of the expected $2.3 billion from this donor conference, they ended up with $3.8 billion.
That is insane.
So it's an extra $1.5 billion from one piece of video, from an 8-minute film. And that's a top-down approach. If for a bottom-up approach, they took that same film and they gave it to UNICEF street teams, so the kids with the blue hats and the clipboards.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but the biggest way UNICEF makes money is by the street teams. And so all of a sudden, instead, when they have the Google Cardboard, they have the film, they have it on a phone and a Google Cardboard, and it's
Yeah.
practically free, for the volunteer. This is their own phone, and they can show people this film. And instead of 1 out of every 12 people giving that spoke with the person on the clipboard, 1 out of every 6 people gives.
Wow.
Okay, so they just doubled the revenue
Yeah.
piece of pie.
Yeah.
And not only that, but each donation on average is 10% higher.
Yeah.
Right? So now our piece of pie is even larger. And it's just a way to show that both from a top-down approach, both from a policy-making and influential approach,
Yeah.
where we get to put it on world leaders, people like Ban Ki-moon, but we also take a bottom-up approach to it.
Yeah.
We can also share it with everyone.
Yeah.
People in Canada can watch what it's like to see, to be a Syrian refugee. And when they get to Canada, all of a sudden, wow, we're better people. Hey, they're not refugees anymore. They're new Canadians.
Yeah.
We realize that the other is not so much the other, they're us.
Yeah. That is incredible. I think that's one of the biggest problems that people are trying to solve today. The other is now part of us.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So to our friends back home who, are moving into their entrepreneurial journey and, trying to also help people or build communities, and they're chatting into new unknown territories, potentially like yourself. So things that have never been discovered before. What is your advice to them? Because it can be a very scary road. So what would be your one mega piece of advice to them?
For me, my motto these days has been meaning is the new money. And I just mean that finding satisfaction in what you do, doing something that you care about and you're passionate about is more important than finding a short-term solution for money.
Yeah.
Because money just enables you to go do what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
People that are rich just want to go help refugees. It turns out you can help refugees without being rich. So you can be a steward, you can be a shepherd, you can be someone who helps without getting money first.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a way to leverage, and I think it's true, there's a way to leverage every interest, every skill, every talent in the world toward doing good. You can leverage your marketing ability. You can leverage your financial prowess. You can leverage, anything you're good at. That can all go to help someone.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of finding a way to make that work. And honestly, there's something bigger about helping people, that it's not just that, it's going to help those people, but you can see it as a selfish thing. It's also organic press. It's also a way to stay in the news and to ride the zeitgeist, ride the wave of momentum.
Yeah.
Wow, everyone's talking about refugees. How can I get in on that?
Yeah.
Right? Why don't you go help some refugees? That's how you get in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
maybe everyone's talking about land rights, or everyone's talking about, keeping our jungles, without being pillaged by logging and industry. And every single person can take a step and do something. And it's not, you don't have to do your 9-to-5 job all week and then volunteer on the weekends.
Yeah.
You can turn whatever it is at your job into helping people.
Yeah. So in a world where it's so nice to be selfish, or in a world where everybody's practicing dog eat dog, how do you stay on the good side of the journey?
I think once you do it once or twice and you see success, it's hard to go back.
Yeah.
It's hard to help someone sell cars when instead you could help everyone that does sell cars just be better people.
Yeah.
If
It's a bit
we
of a
could,
drug, huh?
if we could it is. Yeah. Once you felt that you've really made an impact and you've measured that impact, you can feel that impact come back to you.
Yeah.
Then you're empowered.
Yeah.
You're empowered to continue helping people.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much for being on board with us as well. I can smell your passion right from here.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're just getting even more and more passionate about what you're talking about.
am.
Thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.